Here, no doubt, was the evidence Mobius wished me to have. For the vampires had prophesied not one, but two champions. One destined to be Nosgoth's redeemer, the other its destroyer. The vampire's hero wielded the Reaver, forged for this very purpose. His opponent was clearly the champion of their adversaries, the Hilden, and brandished a flaming sword. The foretold outcome was unambiguous. The vampire hero would fall.
Yep, crystal clear. No dismissing that. Hello everyone, welcome back to Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered. Now, I don't normally do this, but I updated the game before I fully finished it. They actually released a whole bunch of skins for the game. We've got skins for the characters, we got skins for the side characters, and we've even got a whole bunch of new deleted levels that were not there before. And since we're only going to play this once, not because I don't like it, but because there's so many other games to play, we're going to do it all at once. I'm going to see how many of these new skins I can track down. So the reason I have not been uploading is because I've been suffering from a case of COVID, so it's been a bit rough, to put it mildly. So I finally got well enough that I can actually use my voice. So I'm medicated. I've got a glass of water nearby in case I need support, so I think I'm ready to go. So please bear with me. So last time we left off, we were at the Vampire Fortress with Kain. We finished Raziel's chapter. Here's my favorite Kain skin. I was actually watching the video from that Legacy of Kain guy I told you about. That one is actually, it's not the one that says Simply Fantasy. I think it's the one that says Calypso. For some reason, he doesn't like the skin as much as the current one, as much as the standard skin. I don't know why. I think the standard skin looks a bit pale. Let's see if we have some of the new ones. Yeah, we got Reaver skins too. They got like 32 new skins for the Reaver. We got everything from the old Reaver from the PS1 game to Excalibur from Tomb Raider Legends, so that should be fun to play around with. Let's see if they give it to us automatically or if we have to track them down. Yeah, for some reason Calypso does not like that skin. He prefers this one, Fatalistic Emperor. Like I said, I think this one looks a bit too pale. I get his point that it's trying to look like the cinematic from the game, but I don't know, it looks a bit too pale, and Kain looks a bit too slim in that one for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, so we got Scourge of the Circle, Petty Nobleman. Okay, so looks like we still have to track down the others, so we're not gonna get easy on that. Raziel skins. What does he have? I know they did a much better Seraphan Raziel with a nice little bonus that I'll show off once we get to it. Yeah, they did do a better one there than the Seraphan Ascendant Raziel, because that one looks all sorts of messed up. Okay, so we still have to track down those. They don't give it to us for free. Character skins, here we go. I'm gonna mess around with this later. Got Mobius, got Ariel. Oh, Vordor, I want to keep it secret for now. There's also another one that's my favorite. I'm going to show it off later on. Let's see what we got for Mobius. The Eternal Gamester. Oracle of Nosgoth. Oh yeah, this is from Blood Omen 1, where he pretended to be an old man that just foretold the future, and he completely fooled Kain. So that is his trolling outfit, when he trolls the people of Nosgoth, telling them what they want to hear. Oracle of Nosgoth, more like the manipulator of Nosgoth. That sack of shit. SRX Mobius. This is the Mobius from Soul Reaver 2. Like I said, I think he looks a bit too chunky. I don't know why. He looks much healthier than I'd expect a man of like 5,000 years old to look. So not my favorite. And then we have Legacy Mobius, which is a grainy stone PS1 Mobius. Look at that, like it's a statue. That would be fun to play around with. Nah, we're gonna keep Eternal Gamester. Like I said, this one it has nice facial detail, and he looks old. You know, this one looks a bit too young. It's like he didn't age. Okay, and Ariel, she's got her blue. The other thing I don't like about this one is kind of like the bluish hue to her tone. Looks a bit blue. SRX Ariel, I suppose, but then we're not gonna see her again until the end of the game, so it doesn't really make much difference. Got Legacy Ariel from Soul Reaver 1. Looking at Bride of the Raptor. Oh, yeah, that. Okay, so that's what it was meant to be. Bride of the Raptor. I see. I see it now. So that's why they made her look like a bride, even though at no point in time did she ever wear this outfit. So that's why it was always a bit jarring in the original Defiance, because she never wore that. Okay, and then these other guys, Turel, Mortanius, we're gonna save those, and Vorador, we'll save those for later. What about the Reaver? Let's see what we have for the Reaver. And for Kain, start with Kain. Got the Reaver. Got the Demastered Reaver. I guess it's just the regular Defiance Reaver. Do you wanna mix and match? Hope's Heirloom. That's his sword from Blood Omen. If you're gonna go classic with the Blood Omen armor. Fading Legend. Oh, look at how we got the original Soul Reaver. The one from Blood Omen, which matches the bone sword that Vorador carries. I remember an old joke on GameFAQs used to be they called Vorador's sword the Boner sword. You know, so if Kain is the bone sword, then Vorador's is the Boner sword. They used to call that. We're gonna use that for now, just to change it up. And then let's see what Razio has. Obviously, you're gonna find a lot more. The Master Wraithblade. Oh, that looks decent, nice and spectral. I might use that when we switch to Razio. Hunter's Falchion, what the hell? Oh, I guess that's one of the knives that Mobius' soldiers has in Soul Reaver 2. Got Icarus? What the hell is that? Oh, I guess those are the Seraphim swords. Wrought Iron. We got a spear. Oh, that's cool. So Razio actually gets a bunch of different weapons, not just a sword. Malek's sword. Oh, hell yeah. In Extremis. Scraps of Prophecy. Hey, look at that. It's the artifacts from the later puzzles in Vorador's Mansion. Oh, that's pretty cool. We can definitely use the Soul Stealer. I mean, it makes sense because Razio can kind of shift it to look whatever he wants, right? Okay, so we're gonna go with the Kain SRX skin, and we're gonna go with the good old Boner sword. That I always thought that looks a bit like a Minotaur. It's weird how they kind of changed it up for the sequel games. Alright, so let's go before my throat starts wearing out. Let's explore this bitch, Kain. See what we find in the home of our ancestors. Oh, here we go. Here comes the ghost. Oh no, it's the tentacles. Back off, Elder God. Oh, he's dead. Keep your tentacles to yourself, Elder God. I know those aren't his, but he's summoning them, so... trying to mess with us like a troll. Kain doesn't know it yet, but that's what he's doing. He's just messing with him. Because we all know wherever there's a vampire shrine, there's gotta be the other god somewhere far beneath him, right? So... he said it himself, he's everywhere. Damn, so many ghosts. Or shades, whatever. Finally. The ancient vampires did not exercise this place before they abandoned it. Kinda lazy on their part. Oh, there's more of them. Fuck. Back off, Shades. He probably sent those out after us as well. The older god. Oh yeah, look at this. We get the classic Reaver. Nice. Let's float a bit like Kain. Checkpoint activated. You want to leave some of these basins behind in case you need more health later on. On, here we go. Got the primitive humans, the feral humans. So this is probably where some of the souls that Raziel kills later on. I mean, some of the souls that he eats, this is where they come from. Because Kain's just gonna go on a rampage slaughtering these guys. So I always thought what those guys... I always wondered what those guys were supposed to be at first when I first played the game many years ago. But they're supposed to be ancient vampire worshippers. Even though they kind of look like crabs. What they're actually doing is they're mimicking the feathers of the old vampires. They're mimicking the feathers. So that's why they have those feather headdresses. These are humans that are still loyal or worshipping the old vampires. I don't know how they survive here. I guess they must have been enhanced by magic so that they don't have to eat. They can just you know, rely on magic to sustain them. Or maybe they who knows, maybe they eat each other. And they come in both sexes, male and female. See if we can do the there we go. Do the old teleport attack.
They victors.
Oh, we need to eat. He's eating backwards. Apparently there's also a battle arena now. It says kind of janky, but I still like to try it out. I think I've mastered this game to the point where I could last quite a good long while in the battle arena, so looking forward to trying out all that stuff later on. It's nice that they keep updating the game, because usually games are done after they're finished, you know, like that's the way it used to be. Now we do have DLC, but the thing about DLC is that a lot of times they just use it to patch stuff with the game. You know, they're not really adding to it, they're just patching stuff that they messed up. But here they're actually adding brand new content, and it's content honoring the past of the series. And also connecting it even to like other Crystal Dynamics series like Tomb Raider. So it's nice to see that they put so much effort into this. Like, I kind of wish they'd done that a lot more for Soul Reaver 2. That would have been awesome. That blade is the hilt of that blade is immense, and it also looks like an electrical pole from like something that you'd find in like a Nikola Tesla's tower. Or remember those electrical poles from Spyro 2 where you had to go I forgot what that place is called, but the Electroland, where you have to go activate the switch poles and restore all sorts of electricity. That's what it looks like.
Here, no doubt, was the evidence Mobius wished me to have. For the vampires had prophesied not one, but two champions. One destined to be Nosgoth's redeemer, the other its destroyer. The vampire's hero wielded the Reaver, forged for this very purpose. His opponent was clearly the champion of their adversaries, the Hilden, and brandished a flaming sword. The foretold outcome was unambiguous. The vampire hero would fall.
Yep, crystal clear. No dismissing that. like how in the bloopers for Defiance in the original, you could see Simon Templeman go on and on about the flaming sword. Oh, look at those grainy PS2 mountains. Now that one actually looks pretty decent. Although you can kind of tell here, especially it's like a photo. They're not really rendered, but what are you gonna do? People are saying they should revive the Dark Prophecy. I think it's a fair assessment. Like, obviously based on what we're seeing here, they got more than enough material to restart. They've got the engine running, you know. It's necessary to remaster these games, so they've got the engine running. Obviously, they've got the assets, they've got the settings, they've got the enemies, they've even got the plot. Because even though Amy Hennig and her team are no longer there at Crystal Dynamics, like they do have the outline of what it's supposed to be. So, assuming you leave those Bitbox and guys from Ascendance out of it, because obviously they have no idea what the hell they're doing. They were just doing a side story. But assuming you leave them out of it, I see no reason why you couldn't actually you know, restart that project. Okay, here we go. We're gonna take some photographs. Now we'll do it, the normal way. Look at that majestic. Look at that majestic, photograph. And it almost looks like Kain has, like a battery sticking out of his shoulder. What are the other poses? Let's see. Pondering, looking back. Is there one with his arms crossed? Oh, that one looks nice. Death. Default. No, he does not have an arms crossed one like Raziel. He's got pondering. I guess we'll have to settle for pondering, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's get our bolt sword and proceed further into here. That is nice that they included the actual, the old Reaver. Let's make him fight each other. That wicked laugh. Oh, here we go. Let's plant the hate. I completely forgot what music plays here originally. Oh, damn, they didn't last long enough. They're too durable. Receive Nightmare's Hammer. While crossing swords midair, I am able to throw my quarry into the ground far below and then recall them within range of my continued assaults. Okay, so that's the slam. It didn't work there, but that's the slam. Yeah, they changed it to Janos Aldrin's airy music. I think originally you would hear the you would hear the theme where Rasiel's kind of hunting around in the swamp for the vampire ruins in Soul Reaver 2. That's what you would hear originally. And they kind of switched it over to Janos' airy. It kind of makes sense. Makes sense why they would do that. That all-seeing eye symbol again. Wheel of Life, seemingly worshipped by feral humans, the stone circle has been carved skillfully into the semblance of the Wheel of Fate. Far too detailed for such a primitive cult to create, this object must be a relic of the Citadel. Perhaps I can find its original resting place. How does Kain know about the Wheel of Fate? I guess he's heard the term before, maybe from Mobius. Oh, there we go. We did it wrong. Oh, hell yeah. I think you get a trophy for drinking all of them at once. We should have... Yeah, we should have done that one first. Oh, here. Maybe we get a chance here. Trying to get them all close together.
The Reaver required some additional enhancement before this door could be opened.
Yeah, that is the lightning one. This combat system would be really something if they could improve it for a modern day sequel. Yeah, trying to get it the perfect angle for that. For how he's biting her. Look at that. Look at that. There we go. Zoom in on the legs too. Look at that. With the old-fashioned blade. There you go. Oh, here we go. Let's see if we can get it now. Oh, it's too far. I think you have to be in like a confined room. It has to be close quarters so that they can escape. Like that one right there. That one would be perfect. Just waiting for him to claim that artifact first. Alright, we got a leap. And here we go. Let's go to the portal. That's a really nice detail that they added the Blood Omen 1 Reaver. It really helps connect the series to its past. I think the mistake we made was not taking out one of them first and then using that to feed the sword so that we can do the attack. That would have gotten it done. So there's 4 of them here. That means we gotta tackle one first. Let's do this guy. There we go. It's a lot more difficult than it seems. Here we go. Now I've seen a lot of people struggle with these, but you can actually use TK on them. The TK actually works pretty well on these guys. As I've mentioned before, with Raziel, you don't have to fight them all completely with the sword. You can hit them with telekinesis, especially as you increase it. Hit them with all those TK blasts. And remember, the third strike always drives him back. There you go. Alright, we got one. Let's see what we get. Damn, we still don't have one. I wonder what we got. Is it just concept art? Yeah, it doesn't look like we got anything significant. I thought that might have been another skin. I was actually gonna record Tomodachi Life, or at least try to, but I figure I have to do a lot more commentary for that, so my throat needs to recover a bit more. Here we can kind of just wing it and, you know, speak in between the battles, but over there you have to have a constant narrative since you're literally explaining everything that you're doing in terms of the designing the Miis and designing the homes and clearing the island and stirring up controversy and between the residents. You pretty much have to be on point for everything, so there's not much opportunity to give your voice a rest. But here we can kind of just like I said, talk in between the battles. Oh, here we go, they're perfect. Grouped together now. Oh, that one wasn't wounded. God damn it. Brothers of the Blade. I wonder what that is. I guess we must have killed a certain amount of enemies. Here's some more ancient vampire history. This skin we can actually get now. Or rather the skin for the vampire champion. It's a nice little surprise. There we go, push them all back. And we're taking another trip. It's a lot harder than it looks to line them all up so we can feed on them properly.
These statues were singularly inanimate. I knew better than to assume they would always remain so.
So that's what they looked like originally. Here's what they look like now. Not bad. They're not gonna come to life this moment though. That's why you gotta make sure you save this space and for later on. You don't want to use it up right away. Alright, we got another artifact. I think that's for our health. No, that's for TK. One thing I appreciate about the update is they actually gave Vorador what I affectionately refer to as his pimp outfit from Blood Omen 1. Because Vorador was right, meddling in the affairs of men did do vampires no good. Kain should just ignored all those fools from the circle. You know, Vorador warned him not to interfere in the affairs of humans, and Vorador was right. So we're gonna honor Vorador with that outfit later on. We're gonna switch him to that particular outfit from Blood Omen 1. And if we're gonna go down as Vorador, we might as well go down wearing a fabulous pimp outfit from that game. Back when he was a vicious SOB. Oh, that's a lot of enemies. Look at that. Holy shit. That's a lot of dudes. Holy shit. They die pretty easily, which is where the problem comes from in trying to do that one trophy. Okay, so we explored that room. We have this one over here. Have one in our basin in case you need it. What's up here? Oh, more sentries. Obviously we're going to be fighting those enemies when we come back over here. For now, let's try to get that dark tome over there. I think we have to jump from the very edge of the ledge, right? Or maybe we have to get a running start. Damn, we almost had it. Maybe from this edge. Let's see. Damn, we almost had it. That one is tricky because I don't think he leaps that high. What about from this angle? There we go. Perfect. Alright, so that room is cleared. We got 2 gates. Got this one. And we have this one. Okay, so yeah, we can just move ahead. Okay, and that just takes us back to where we first arrived. Checkpoint activated. So there's 1 sentry there, but we're not gonna fight him yet. What's down here? I think we might have accidentally switched the camera. Move camera. Toggle graphics mode. There we go. I don't know what the hell happened. There we go. I want to stare at the picture some more. Yeah, so that's the Vampire Champion outfit that you actually get for Raziel. Now, I don't know if it was always there, but I know it's definitely there now. And it's a nice little bonus feature they added to it. You also get the Hilden one too, which it looks kind of gnarly from what I saw of it. It's a very tribal looking. Let's put it that way. Very interesting design they went for the Hilden one. Obviously that's for Raziel. We can shift it to the spectral realm so we can get up there. Got running water, so obviously the vampires weren't afraid of water in their natural state. That was just a weakness that developed in their descendants. There we go. Another health artifact. Oh, let's make sure to stay out of that water. Alright, we got one artifact. Carved stone skull. Wrought roughly from some unidentifiable stone, this craven skull bears a set of twin sharp fangs that mark it easily as a vampire's. The only mar on the smooth surface is the vampire symbol of death chiseled deeply into its forehead. The Lost World Archives article for the feral humans said it doesn't really explain where they all went. That cutting down Kain's number must have cut, Kain must have cut their numbers down considerably, but I think it's pretty obvious where they all went. He killed them all. You know, he literally killed every single last feral human in the fortress, so that's where they all went. They're all dead by that point. It's not a great mystery. You know, the moment they chose to attack Kain, it was all over. Rusted scales. Once a supremely accurate set of scales and set of weights and measures employed in alchemy, this ancient set of scales has long been frozen in perfect balance by a spread of rust. Upon the base lies the still visible vampire symbol for the principle of states. Oh, I see. There's an arcane tome up there. Alright, so let's go. Gotta be careful to make this jump. Oh, we got it. Earn Kain skin, fledgling warlord. My enemies took everything from me, all my wealth and power. But they could not kill me. Now they would learn of fear. Those mewing babies who thought they could destroy me. I will regain my powers, and I will come to them the night, and my visits will not be kind. Oh yeah, this is the Blood Omen 2 skin. Oh yeah, look at that. They gave us a trophy for getting that. The Ridge. So let's take a look at it. I don't quite look like the way his face looks, but I don't know. I just think they can never really design what they can never really decide what a youngish Kain's face is supposed to be like. Like that one video by Calypso said, for human Kain, they probably should have used Simon Templeman's face, since he actually does resemble Kain in Blood Omen. Even though it wasn't supposed to be, apparently it was a coincidence. It's just purely a coincidence that he resembled the character, but he did, so they probably should have used his face. Now what's interesting about this one is you do have the symbol here, but like the video pointed out, it's not quite the outfit that symbol pertains to in Blood Omen 2. He has the outfit at the end with the spikes, the golden armor that he takes to the Hilden City, and that's the symbol for that, and yet it's a completely different outfit that you get here. Yeah, so this is I guess if they did a completely new remaster of Blood Omen 2, this is what he would look like in the remaster. They completely change it up. Alright, let's cast a little illusion as Kain here to make ourselves look like our younger self. There you go. There's a scar from his death in Blood Omen 1. The interesting thing is they did apparently switch that. They fixed the scar for Defiance and put it in the middle of his chest, because that's how it looked like when where the soldier stabbed it, but then all the other versions have it to the side, so. Also, one thing I noticed, he did get his nipples back here. He did not have them in Blood Omen 2, so. I mean, this version does look like a lot more like a regular Kain as a vampire than the Blood Omen 1-2. The Blood Omen 1-2, I mean, the Blood Omen 2 costume had, the chin was the wrong size, his ears were a bit pronounced, his hair was off, so it just did not look like Kain at all. It looked like a regular generic ass vampire. This actually does look closer to him as a vampire, so I assume if they ever do remaster Blood Omen 2, this is the skin that'll be the default. I assume maybe they'll just touch it up a bit in his face, but this is what they're gonna go with. So all in all, not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Pardon me for a moment. Like I said, I do have a glass of water nearby, because it's not 100% recovered. He does not have the claws, though. I'm noticing that he does not have the super large claws. He does have them here, but they're much smaller in shape and size than they are. They're more like spiky giant fingernails. But this does look a lot more like a proper Blood Omen 1 Kain than the Blood Omen 2 default look. And this is where he started carrying the tradition of carrying his banner on the side like a cape. Yeah, it looks decent enough. I noticed I also noticed the shoulder pad is a proper shoulder pad. It does not stick out from to the left like one review competitor. I don't know if it was IGN or some other review. They once said that left shoulder pad looks like a perch for a parrot. That's where he would keep his parrot, like a pirate. So I'm glad to see they did touch it up a bit. So this is Kain as a young gun, but he's still just a fledgling newbie warlord. I think he's like 200 years old at this point. So pretty old by human standards, but very, very young by vampire standards. The boots do look good, though. They do look good. So do the trousers. Look at that. You can see all the fine detail on the letters. It actually looks really good for what it is. Okay, so what's the trick to this? I think we gotta light those two braziers. There's one. There's another. Then we gotta hit the switch to TK. This is a much quieter chapter for Kain. You know, not much happens story-wise here. It's more about him exploring the fortress and confronting the enemies here.
The
But hey, we got the lightning.
fragment of the balance emblem endowed the Reaver with the elemental power of lightning.
Oh hell yeah, that's my favorite power-up for sure. Besides the slow time spell, that one's pretty awesome. I think the pink ones actually have a lot more health than the regular bluish purple ones. You can tell by the claws. God damn, you just threw them all the way back. Oh yeah, he was tanky. He had a lot of health on him. Let's recover our health since we're not coming back to this room. Hey, look at that perpetual feast. So we got a trophy as Blood Omen 2 Kain. Nice. Now let's switch back. Yeah, let's switch back to our proper age. Scourge of the Circle. Oh, let's do the iron armor combination just to do it. Just because. Let's do the iron armor with the look at that fading legend. With the iron sword. Oh, he's got a lot more swords. Ascendance Reaver? So it's basically the Reaver, just a bit janky looking. Oh, Ceroli Steel. Oh, this is his sword. This is Ceroli Steel. This is his sword. The Iron Sword. This is from the Army of Hope. Oh hell yeah, look at that. Look at that Blood Omen 1 Kain right there. There he is. Including his signature sword. That's pretty nice. That's very nice. We definitely gotta get a picture with that somewhere. Let's do it right now. Let's do it right here. Yeah, I think I like that angle there. I think the field of view is fine. Gonna put an intensity in that vignette. Oh, there we go, pondering, definitely, look at that. Perfect. Got the blood drinker. Let's go back to the regular Reaver for now. We got some pretty good use out of the Blood Omen 1 Reaver, so let's go back to the regular one for now. Cause that handle's a bit weird. Look how it looks like an electrical device. What do they even call those things? The poles.
They victors!
Alright, here we go. Another chance to get that trophy. If that damn tentacle will leave us alone. God damn. Nope, we failed. Okay, so where do we go up top? We gotta find our way back to the entrance for, I think to go back to the earth area. We're in the water temple at the moment. Is it over here? No, that is closed. And this is a dead end. Oh, here we go. So I was watching a video on remakes with this annoying little twerp who for some reason really hated the Persona 3 Reload remake, and he also hates I guess he also hates a Yakuza remake that they made on top of that. He was going on and on about how making even the slight adjustments to the to a game automatically changes its artistic integrity. I don't think I actually buy that argument at all. Like, I don't think it compromises the artistic integrity of the game to fix stuff that you know is broken or subpar in your original game. I think that's what a remake is supposed to be for, ideally, to improve on stuff that could have been done better in the original. Maybe a lot of times not because they wanted to do it that way, but because they just didn't have the resources to do it any better, graphically or otherwise. So I think that's what a remake should be. So the reason I bring it up, besides that video being annoying as hell, is because one thing he used, you know, Persona 3, he used the argument that they changed so much, it's no longer faithful to the PS2 original, since you can control your party characters, which I don't know what kind of psycho would not want to control their party characters by themselves, but whatever fits for you, I guess. But yeah, he said that, and then he said to change the cutscenes, and he said they took away the tired mechanic and all sorts of stuff. And it's like, this endless list of non-complaints, almost like nitpicking about minor stuff that doesn't even matter. Oh, look at that, the dragon, the one that Warlord has tattooed on his arms, and he has an emblem on his robe. But yeah, he has that, and I was thinking about this game. Can you imagine if they released this remaster without giving you the option to change the camera? If they just said, nope, we're not going to fix the original camera. You're going to take the original camera and you're going to like it. Can you imagine the outcry knowing that the camera's messed up and they do nothing to fix it? I think that's far worse. Like, I can appreciate it leaving it the same in a port, obviously, because there is a port of this on the PS4 and the PS5, which is fine. That's spectacular that they preserved it. All games like that should be preserved. But imagine if you're doing a remaster and you have a chance to fix certain stuff that was done wrong or subpar or whatever in the game, and you just said, no, I want to keep it faithful to the original, so I'm going to keep it exactly the same. You're basically tossing away an opportunity to improve the game and to make it more palatable to even much more fans than it was before. You know, you're missing a chance to attract new fans to the series. And I think that's what remasters do. They attract new fans to the series, so then they can go and appreciate the old games. And it just it bugged the hell out of me that this guy was rambling on and on and on about how Persona 3 Reader wasn't faithful to the original, and he even brought up Resident Evil 2 and Silent Hill 2 and tank controls for a little bit, because of course you have to bring those up. And he brought up the Demon Souls remakes, and it's just this endless list of nitpicking, and it's like, god damn, this guy doesn't want anything new. He just wants to play the same thing over and over again for eternity. You could tell that his point was getting close to it, that he just doesn't want any remakes, period, even if they are better than the original. So like stuff like the Resident Evil 1 remake does not fly in his book, even though it's arguably far superior to the original. It pretty much is the definitive version of Resident Evil 1, and he does not like stuff like that. But the reload segment just pisses me off because I really like that game, so that just pissed the hell out of me. This is a pretty long chapter. We haven't even gotten out of the fortress yet. Out of the interior. So yeah, it just made me think of Defiance and how, like I said, they actually took the opportunity to fix the camera here and add all this extra stuff and do a whole bunch of nice stuff that wasn't in the original, right? And I'm just thinking, can you imagine if they decided to do none of this? If they just did a straightforward port and never did any improvements or anything like that? Like if the port that you got of Defiance on the PS4 and the PS5 was it, that was the only thing you got, and they never fixed the camera. Can you imagine that? Having the opportunity to actually fix something that was infamously broken in the original game, and you choose not to do it because you're catering to idiots who don't want anything to change ever. They want everything to stay exactly how it was in 2005 or 1998 or whenever it is, 1996. It's just I get the argument that there's too many remakes nowadays, there's too many remasters and stuff like that, but we need more regular ports. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with a remaster that is well done and actually honors the original game or improves on it, or a remake that is well done and actually honors the original game and improves on it, like Silent Hill 2 Remake. I started playing Silent Hill 2 Remake again to ease myself into playing video games since I'd been out of commission for like a week. You know, not being able to stop coughing, so I couldn't hold a controller properly or concentrate on anything. And yeah, it's there's a reason I almost never play the original Silent Hill 2 anymore, because that game holds up pretty damn well. You know, it's I have to admire the artistry that was there in restoring Silent Hill for a new generation. It's definitely one of my favorite games of the past 10 years, definitely in the top 5. That doesn't mean I'll never play the original Silent Hill 2 again, but you know, why do so when I have this version? And it's a lot more convenient to play most of the times. And then when I actually do want to go play it, then I will go play the enhanced edition, which I wish they just released that on consoles, you know. Just find a way to port that, Konami. Just hire all those guys and pay them. But yeah, that remake is definitely one of my top 5 favorite games of the past 10 years. And it's a game that I never even asked for. I didn't ask for that at all. I wanted a Silent Hill 1 remake to bring it more in line with the rest of the series. I would have been fine if they never remade any of the others. 2, 3, 4, whatever. I would have been perfectly fine with that. But I gave it a chance, and it actually turned out to be one of my favorite games ever. So, what do you know? That's why I think you can't take an completely anti-remake stance, because you never know which ones will actually improve and which ones won't. Damn, I missed a perfect photo opportunity there. Here we go. So yeah, that video just pissed me off last night. I had to write a whole 3-paragraph plus 1 extra sentence comment on that video, criticizing it to hell. And I did not go back to check what the guy responded or anyone else who responded to, because we don't do that. We don't check YouTube comments like that. I only check comments for my own video, and that's it, nothing else. So sorry, my guys, if you actually come across that particular video and you see that particular post, I'm not going to respond to that comment, because we don't do that on YouTube. God damn. Look at how different he is on the enhanced graphics. He's actually flaming here, like he's made out of lava or something. In the original, he just has a bit of fire surrounding him. Alright, so we dealt with that guy. Like I said, there is a purpose to some remakes. I don't think it's all purely about making money and stuff like that. Like, obviously money's a factor, but I think there is a point to remaking certain games so newer generations can enjoy them. Especially if it's a game that's not popular enough to get a new sequel entry. A remake might be the only way younger generations actually go back and revisit it. I think there's also a trophy for making these guys hit each other. There we go. There we go. Cast not the first stone. Excellent. Getting a lot of trophies tonight. Okay, so this is where we emerged from. So now we gotta go back down. Oh, I got some more ghosts. God damn. stick on this guy for now. Receive kinetic shackles, reinforcing my brute telekinetic abilities. With exact technique, I am able to temporarily shackle my enemies in midair with chains of force. Okay, so we're in the fire temple. You can see it because of the flame symbol on the floor. Now, where do we go next? Where's the next functioning portal? I think it's gotta be this climbable wall, right? We haven't really been over here. Oh yeah, there it is. There they are right there, the two guardians. I see them. Hey, look at us, our old friend Warlord. We know that guy Kain. He gave us a ring that we wear as an earring. We are right there. Oh yeah, let's do a picture with him here. Trying to get the right angle. There we go. There's Janos, Vordor, Kain, the whole vampire line. Now we're gonna... There. We're gonna set it right there. We're not gonna roll it. There we go. Increase the intensity. Increase the size. Softness decrease. There we go. Kain's got that nice skeptical glance at what he's just found out about Vordor. And that guy on the right who looks mysteriously like Raziel's human self. Or his vampire self. Before he became a wraith. There you go. Looks perfect. He's got that nice skeptical glance on his face. Like, what did I just walk into? Who is this guy with the 3 chins? Hey, it's Vordor. It's our old pal and mentor. Look at that. 3 greatest vampires in history right there. Janos, Vordor, and Kain. All in one picture. You know what? We're gonna raise the... Let's take one with the Reaver's maker. There you go. Right next to it so you can see. I'm gonna take one with the The boner sword. So I can see both versions of it. There you go, look at that. It's like He-Man lifting up his sword. Look at that. Look at how high that sword reaches up into the ceiling. Look at that. Perfect. Also, one interesting thing about the sword, in Blood Omen 1, the Saroli were referred to as the Sword Masters of Noskov, the ancient swordsmiths. You kind of wonder that tradition started from Vordor himself. Like, was he a Saroli forger? Like, was he a, what do you even call it, a steelsmith? Or a blacksmith? Was he the first blacksmith for that organization? He was the one that was turned to a vampire, so they kind of just moved on without him. I think that's plausible. He was the very first guy who founded that tradition, and then as he became a vampire and kind of isolated from humankind, the organization or the Brotherhood just went on without him. Alright, more fighting. Got two of them now. Yeah, I think that's plausible. Like, he might have been the first one who actually founded the organization of blacksmiths. Or swordsmiths, whatever. And then they just forgot about him over the centuries because he became a vampire and started isolating from humankind. These are a lot more difficult to fight just because of the force field. It kind of prevents them from taking damage, so you gotta wait your turn. You can't just shatter them with TK the way you do the regular angel statues. It also makes it pretty difficult to use the Reaver spells against them since you don't have enough time to charge them up. You try to charge them with your sword, but by the time you're done fighting one enemy, you get hit by another. And there are a bit too much of them in the game. There's a bit too many of these statue battles before. Where they probably should have done something else to have you fight. It would have been cool if you could fight like ancient vampire reanimated corpses, like reanimated version of the ancients buried there. That would be interesting. Not just their statues. But yeah, there are a bit too many fights with those guys in the scattered in the game. But they're not too bad though, compared to how they were before with the old camera. The new camera actually helps out a lot. The old one tended to get stuck in a lot of places. That's why it was so frustrating to work with. Okay, we're almost out of here, Kain. We're almost out of here. I wanted to do a chapter with Raziel, but I'm not gonna have time because yeah, it turned out to be a lot longer than I anticipated. Okay, so that's closed up. We have to open up later as Raziel. At least we got to check out some cool skins and weapon skins. That's cool. Also, you can hear kind of like the little sound of the little ping of the sentry statue behind that door. That the one that Razio encounters later on in his time period, 500 years later. And you can also see Kain kind of looking at it too. So that's an interesting little detail. See, you can hear it right behind the door. Oh, damn he destroyed the base and I didn't want to do that. Go back to the beginning. From space and time. Alright, there we go. We're back at the ledge. We got the lightning artifact, so now we can proceed to the rest of the fortress. That Soul Reaver 2 footstep sound from when he was in the snow. Crunchy. Yeah, when Razio was passing through the snow in the Seraphim era. Okay, so which was the door with the lightning? It would be right over here. There it is. We're almost out of here. Yeah, I really like the skin. Like I said, I know that Calypso guy. For some reason, he preferred the regular one. But like I said, I really like this one. I think this is my favorite version of Kain. The other one, the Fatalistic Emperor, is just a bit too pale. I think they just made him a bit too pale and a bit too skinny too. I really like this version of Kain here. This one I think does look a lot like the one in the Soul Reaver 2 CG cutscene. That serves as a little intro to that game. I think it works perfectly. And his face is nice and animated too. Like, none of them really have as much animation as these ones do, as the regular OG features, because that was the original. But this one's a pretty it's a pretty fair compromise. And also, at least his pants aren't hiked all the way up to his stomach like Urkel, like in this version. I always thought this was kind of weird, the way the way it's done like this, because it wasn't like this before in Soul Reaver 2. There's actually a respectable distance between his abs and the pants in that version. But for here, for some reason, they just they made him wear those Urkel pants. You can see is right around his waist. So I like that here. It doesn't go above his waist. You know, his torso is lean around the middle, where the pants are holding it up, and then he has a more bulk on the top. I like the fact that it's not just one uniform torso, and you know, it looks like he's wearing his pants above his waist here. So yeah, I think this is the definitive version of Kain. I can understand, I guess, why people would like the other ones, but I think this one works perfectly. If it had been up to me, I would have made this one the default, and I would have made the other one optional, because I think this one works pretty damn well with the game. But let's move on. There's no point in rehashing the same point over and over again. So let's just move on. I think we're at the end of this chapter. We're gonna move on to Razio now. So we're just gonna save, and that'll be it for the night over there. Before we do that though, let's switch his Reaver, because I want to switch over to the not the demastered Wraithblade. Oh yeah, actually the demastered Wraithblade would be fine. Yeah, I want to use that one for a while. Yeah, that nice swirling lightsaber effect, that's always been pretty cool.
A new area of the vampire Citadel lay open. I still had much to discover.
And we're done with Kain for a while, because this next segment with Razio is going to be quite a lengthy one, so be prepared, because that video is easily going to be at least an hour and a half long. It's a very long chapter. Very, very long chapter with lots of great areas to explore and find yourself into. There he is, the goat. Just barging into warlords' mansions like a jackass.
Nestled deep in the Black Forest, Vorodor had once held court over a private kingdom, as decadent as it was depraved. Now, all was still. I hoped I had not arrived too late.
I think you may be too late, Raziel. It's quiet beyond words here. Like there's no one left here in this place. Let's see what the Wraith Blade looks like. The demastered Wraith Blade. This is the one from Soul Reaver 1. Okay. Let's see. There you go. Looks okay, I guess. Actually, I think this is the one from Soul Reaver 2. I think yeah, this is definitely the one from Soul Reaver 2. You can tell because of the mist-like, you can tell because of the mist-like, effect it has around it. This is the one that everyone hates. Me included. I don't really like this one. I know Liz, the streamer I watched, Liz didn't like it because she felt they shortened it a bit too much, and I kind of agree. It has limited range in that game that they didn't have before in Soul Reaver 1. So yeah, this is the. We'll stick with that one for now, but that's not actually the one we want. The one we want is the one from Soul Reaver 1. Not that one. Yeah, we don't have that one yet, so I'm guessing it will be here. That one where it says locked item, I'm guessing that would be the Soul Reaver 1 Wraith Blade. Because this is the one from Soul Reaver 2 where it's kind of ugly. With the mist. I think the mist effect is kind of what ruins it. If it was just a line pulsing like that with a faint outline of blue, it would be fine. I think it's the mist form that kind of ruins it. And then these are all just the weapons before. From all the enemies he's fought across Soul Reaver 2. And then also, like I said, you have Malik's sword, and you also have the Soul Stealer. Let's check out the Soul Stealer. Oh, nice! Look at that. He's got a nice lengthy spear. Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, we're gonna stick with the demastered Reaver for now. Even though, like I said, it's not preferable one. The one we want is actually probably this one that we'll find later. But we'll use this for now. It still looks pretty decent. Looks like a giant middle finger that he could be poking someone with. A giant glowing white and blue middle finger. So yeah, we got through Kain's section. I'm gonna save over here. There you go. Let's take that picture. He's just glowing into the camera. There you go. Because look at that. Look at that fabulous wealth Vorodor has run himself by. Look at that. So we're going to take a picture of this nice... right in front of this nice... palatial estate in deep in the swamp. We're going to do one with the default pole. The default... pose. Trying to get his head lined up with the balcony. There you go. I'm gonna do that one there. You can see the little energy basin glowing in the background. That's nice. A lot of dragon motif everywhere. I'm gonna do one with default pose. The default pose. God damn. Walking, sneaking, running. It's posed. Now we use that one for the pillars. There we go. And then this one we're gonna edit him a bit so that he's to the left of the stairway, because that way he's staring firmly at the camera. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. What other poses does he have? Hip pose, drawing, attack. Yeah, I think that's fine. Gliding. This is Batman now. There you go. Might as well, right? Might as well. Oh, you know what? We should turn that one. There we go. Excellent. Look at that. Look at that photo right there. That's awesome. Alrighty, enough foolishness. That's enough messing around with that. Save it again just in case. So yeah, we got through Kain's chapter. It's a pretty long one. Not much important happened in terms of the plot. He just found that mural about the vampire, the Hilden champion. Mainly it was just fighting a bunch of enemies with the Reaver spells. I think that whole section is just intended to get you more used to using the Reaver spells if you haven't been using them already, because I've noticed like some people when they play the game will not, for whatever reason, automatically use the Reaver spells. For some reason they just use the regular attacks, and you're supposed to use the Reaver spells to make the battles easier and have a lot more fun along the way. You know, it's supposed to be much more variety to the gameplay if you use them. So I think that whole section with all the enemies, so many different feral humans, is just to get you used to using the Reaver spells on a wide basis. You know, you want to be switching between the three of them. Between the ones kind of like the Inspire Hate spell from Blood Omen 1, and then you got the generic Energy Blast with the Reaver, and then you also have the you have the other one too, the teleportation attack, and now we got the lightning. So you're supposed to use them. The powers in this. Pardon me. Yeah, my throat was bothering me again, but the powers in this game are pretty useful. I just wish there were more of them. There should have been at least, I think, 2 more. Maybe 3, you know, to represent the different pillar forces of nature that each pillar represents, you know. Because we have time, we have dimension, obviously, we have the regular one, Reaver. I assume that's probably either balance or death. You know, we got the lightning one, obviously. The lightning one is probably the pillar states. You know, that's what that probably represents. So the 5 powers are fine. My favorite is either lightning or slow time, but I do wish there would have been a couple more of them just to bring it in line with the 9 pillars. But what's here is pretty good. A lot more than we got in Soul Reaver 2, I'll tell you that. So yeah, we're going to continue with this on next time. Hopefully by then I would have fully recovered, since I'm going to take a few days off from recording until we record again, because it's the weekend, so we got movie night, and then we also have other stuff to do. So hopefully by the time I come back next time, I will be fully recovered and I can actually record for a while without having to stop every 15 or 20 minutes because my throat is getting sore again, or my voice is going hoarse and I can't you know, it's just it's a bit tough, but it's definitely a lot better now than it was a few days ago. A few days ago I couldn't even concentrate on holding a controller because I was coughing so much. So it has not been fun, but thankfully looks like I'm almost fully through it. This is a fun game. I definitely recommend it if you're any kind of Legacy of Kain fan. And like I said, I really love what they've done here with the extra content, all the different skins for the characters, for the side characters, for the Reavers. You know, you got... What other game would give you skins for the non-playable characters, you know? Not many, I'll tell you that. Not many would do that for you, but this game does. And it really shows the dedication they have towards making this like the best presentation of Defiance possible. I think the only thing that's missing is if we could go here where it says sound and actually have the classic soundtrack. That would be perfect. It would be perfection then, because we could have literally any version of the game we want. You want the new graphics with the old soundtrack? You got it. You want the old graphics with the old soundtrack? You got it. You want the new music with the old graphics? You got it. So that's about the only complaint I have. The fact that they don't have an option for a classic soundtrack the way Resident Evil 2 Remake does. I think that's the one thing that's missing from the game. Silent Hill did that too. I wish there was an option for the classic soundtrack, and I know Persona 3 Reload kind of avoided it until people complained, and then they gave you the old songs for free. So Well, most of them anyway. The ones that were really changed, like Burn My Dread and Mass Destruction. With people really complain about those two, so they gave it to you back in a free DLC. But yeah, that's about pretty much the only complaint I can find with this game. Is the fact that we don't have access to the classic soundtrack, so we gotta listen to the new music. In some areas where it doesn't really fit. It's not really appropriate for that section, but it's what we have right now. Like the Janos Ares theme that plays throughout the Vampire Fortress, I would have used that only for a few select rooms. I wouldn't have used it for the whole thing. I would have kept the old song for the majority of that entire fortress, but it is what it is. Either way, it's still a pretty damn fine remaster. I'm greatly impressed with what they've done here so far, so that's it for now. The next game I record will probably be Resident Evil Requiem, and then we're getting back to Tomodachi Life. So I hope you're enjoying the playthrough, and I will see you again next time on Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered on the PS4. See you later, everyone.